Kaminuza ya LAU cyangwa se African Leadership University kabiri kaminuza yigisha abana b'abanyafrika rubyiruko rwo muri Afrika cyane cyane kubijyanye n'imiyoborere mu ngeri zitandukanye. Ni kaminuza rero ifite ibyicaro bigera kuri bibiri. Icyicaro kimwe kikaba kiri muri Mauritius cyangwa se mu birwa bya Maurice, ikindi kikaba kiri hano mu Rwanda, aho iyi kaminuza yigisha urubyiruko ruturutse hirya no hino muri Afrika kugira ngo bashobore kumenya uburyo bayobora yaba company zikomeye za hano muri Afrika, yaba izindi nzego zitandukanye, ariko babikora nk'abanyafrika muri kwa gukunda Afrika no kumenya ibibazo biri muri Afrika. Ni kaminuza igira imyigishirize itandukanye, aho abanyeshuri bamara amezi 20 biga ni gahunda nyine kugira ngo bagraduating. Icyiciro kikaba ari icyiciro cya gatatu cya kaminuza cyangwa se masters muri business administration. Abangaba bakaba bagiye guhabwa impamya bumenyi. Uyu munsi n'abanyeshuri 38 bagiye guhabwa impamya bumenyi baturutse mu bihugu 17 bya Afrika. Muri bo bakaba barimo n'abanyarwanda, cyane cyane ko zimwe cyangwa se mu byicaro by'iyi kaminuza harimo n'u Rwanda. Aba bose impamvu bagiye graduating mu Rwanda cyangwa se bagiye guherebwa impamya bushobozi zabo hano mu Rwanda nuko muri ayo mezi 20 bamaze muri program yo kwiga ibintu bitandukanye, zose cyangwa se ibyiciro nakwita ko bikomeye babikoreraga hano mu Rwanda, aho bazaga bakamara ibyumweru bigera ku cyangwa se inshuro 3 muri ya mezi 20 bagakoreramo ama experience atandukanye, bagasangira ubunararibonye bafite, ariko byose nyine babikorera hano mu Rwanda. Bagiye guhabwa rero izimamenyi uyu munsi, bakaba ari n'icyiciro cya mbere cyo mu rwego nyine rwa masters muri kaminuza. Bagiye guhabwa izi mpamya bumenyi ko nakubwiraga, bakaba turutse mu bihugu bigera kuri 17. Iyi kaminuza ikaba yaratangiye mu mwaka 2000 cyangwa se abambere biyandikishije mu mwaka 2016. Abo bose biyandikisha bakaba baturuka baba basanzwe ari abantu bakora akazi gatandukanye mu company atandukanye, bakaba mu gihe babiga basangira ibitekerezo, bakabihuza n'akazi baba bakora kugira ngo barebe ibibazo bahura nabyo, bityo bakabiganira n'abarimu. Bimwe mu byari bisanzwe byigishwa mu program bikongerwamo kubera ko baba bamaze kubona ibyo bahura nabyo kuri tere cyangwa se handi bakorera, bigatuma rero bongera amasomo abereye Afrika cyangwa se abereye umugabane wa Afrika. Intego y'i kaminuza no kugira ngo abana b'Afrika, urubyiruko rwa Afrika rushobore kwiga, ariko rwiga uko rwakwikemurira ibibazo byarwo batarinze kujya kwiga mu mashuri akomeye cyangwa se mu bihugu nakwita ko bikomeye, ahubwo bagakora ishuri rifite ibikenerwa byose kugira ngo umwana wa Afrika azajye arangiza muri iryo shuri ashobora no kumenya ibibazo yigiye cyangwa se ibibazo yize akurikirana, hato namara kuyobora urwego runaka azashobora gukemura ibibazo yumvise no mu gihe yigaga. Ni impamyabumenyi zigiye gutangirwa hano muri Kigali Convention Center, aho abanyeshuri uko nakubwiraga bagera kuri 38, hakaba harimo abanyarwanda bagera kuri 2 gusa. Reka rero tubareke mukurikire umuhango wo gutanga izi mpamyabumenyi uko wakabaye. Muko rero mukomeje gukurikira kuri televiziyo y'u Rwanda, tukaba tugiherereye hano muri Kigali Convention Center, hagiye kubera umuhango wo guha impamyabumenyi abanyeshuri 38. Ni abanyeshuri baturutse mu bihugu bitandukanye hirya no hino, ariko biga muri ishuri ryitwa African Leadership University, aho biga ibintu bitandukanye, ariko intego ari imwe, ari ukugira ngo abana b'Abanyafrika bagire ubushobozi bwo kuyobora, bagire bwa bushobozi bwo kuyobora inzego zitandukanye zo ku mugabane wa Afrika, ariko baziyobora nk'abantu bazibamo, baziyobora nk'abantu bazi ibibazo biherereyemo, baziyobora nk'abantu koko bikorera, cyane cyane ko byagiye bigaragara ko akenshi amasomo bahererwa ahandi usanga yiga iby'ahandi. Kubihuza rero n'ubuzima bwite bwa Afrika, ugasanga kenshi biragorana kugira ngo bibe byahura. Iri shuri rero ryaje kugira ngo abo bana batandukanye babonera amasomo hano muri Afrika, babonera ingero zifatika muri Afrika, cyane cyane ko benshi nakoni na bose baba baraturutse mu nzego zitandukanye, mu makampani atandukanye yo muri Afrika. Aho ngaho niho bahera basangira na bagenzi babo iyo experience, basangira na bagenzi babo ibyo bahura nabyo muri Afrika, basangira na bagenzi babo ibyo bagiye bacamo ndetse n'ibyo bifuriza umugabane wa Afrika. Ibyo babihuza biba biteguye mu masomo atandukanye baba barateguye muri iri shuri kugira ngo bahereye ku bibazo byagaragaye kuri tene cyangwa se ibibazo biba byaragaragaye aho ngaho hategurwa andi masomo mashya ariko ajyanye n'ibyo bibazo kugira ngo hategurwe amasomo mashya azakemura ibibazo byagiye bigaragara muri Afurika bahereye kuri za ngero biboneye za ngero ziba zihari. Aba rero bagiye guhabwa impamyabumenyi uyu munsi kuko baturutse mu bihugu 17 aho amasomo yabo yamaze amezi 20. Muri ayo mezi 20 bakaba baragiraga ibyumweru bitandukanye bakaza gufatira amasomo cyangwa kugira amasomo yabo hano mu Rwanda. Ya masomo bise intensive yandi aba bika mu buryo rwose bw'utaruhuka, biga mu buryo bwimbitse, bikaba rero byaragiye bimara nyine barabikoze mu nshuro zigera kuri 6 muri ayo mezi agera kuri 20. Iki cyiciro cyabo cyamaze abagera kuri 38 rero nibo basoje, nibo bagiye guhabwa impamyabumenyi uyu munsi. Bakaba ari n'umuhango uri kwitabirwa kwa Perezida wa Repubulika y'u Rwanda. Mu kanya gatujyana nyine niho ubutangiye, aho muri abo banyeshuri harimo n'abanyarwanda nk'uko twahoze tubikubwira. N'ishuri rifite ibyicaro 2, aho icyicaro kimwe kiri mu birwa bya Maurice cyangwa se muri Mauritius, ikindi kikaba kiri hano mu Rwanda. Icyicaro kiri hano mu Rwanda, icyicaro kiri mu birwa bya Maurice kikaba ari nacyo cyicaro gikuru, ari naho ari ubuyobozi bw'iyi kaminuza ya African Leadership University. Aho bagiye guhabwa impamyabumenyi uyu munsi abarangije icyiciro cya 3 cya Business Administration cyangwa se MBA. Aho rero birumvikana ubumenyi bakuyemo, ibyo basangiye biturutse naho bakoraga, cyane ko twabwiye ko bajya kwiga hano cyangwa se bajya muri kaminuza baba baturutse, baba basanzwe ari abantu bakora, akazi gatandukanye, abantu baba basanzwe hari icyo bajyanye. Aba rero bagiye nyine bagiye guhabwa impamyabumenyi, bakaba nabo bari baraturutse mu makampani atandukanye nyine akorera ariko hano muri Afurika, aho ibyo byose babihuje na experience bari basanzwe bahura nayo mu kazi, cyangwa se niyo bahura mu kazi, cyane ko icyo cyiciro ibyo byumweru nakwita ko biga mu buryo bwimbitse buri intensive, ariho bahura bagahuza ibyo babamo byose. Niba uturutse muri Botswana, uturutse mu Rwanda, ariko twese tukaba tuyobora wenda urugero kampani ijyanye n'ikoranabuhanga, dufite ibibazo duhura nabyo, niyo bitaba bitandukanye ko dufite ibyo duhura nabyo nk'abanyafurika cyangwa se ibyo duhurijeho nk'abanyafurika. Ibyo rero nibyo basangira, bityo bikabaviramo gutekereza icyabikemura ariko mu buryo bw'ubunyafurika cyangwa se mu buryo bwa Afurika. Icyabikemura ni iki? Ese twakwifashisha iki muri aya masomo dusanganywe? Ese mu yo dufite ubu ngubu niki twakongeramo? Niki kibura? Birashoboka ko curriculum cyangwa se uko amasomo yateguwe yarebaga ibibazo bimwe. Ese ni gute ibibazo bimwe wenda abantu batatekerezaga, batigeze babona mbere, byakwinjizwa mu masomo kugira ngo ayo masomo abe igisubizo cy'ibyo bibazo byagiye bituma wenda imiyoborere y'inzego zo muri Afurika, imiyoborere y'amakampani yo muri Afurika, imiyoborere y'ibigo bikomeye byo muri Afurika by'ubukungu n'ibindi, ibyo bibazo byagiye bigaragara by'igihe kirekire bishobora kuba byakemuka ariko bivuye mu bumenyi buhabwa Abanyafurika. Reka tubabwire rero ko mu kanya gato muza mukurikira umuhango, nyirizina, umuhango wakabaye umuhango ube urimo n'umukuru w'igihugu cy'u Rwanda, nyakubahwa Perezida wa Repubulika Paul Kagame. Reka tube dufashe akaruhuko gatoya, mu kanya gatoya turaza tugaruka hano muri iki cyumba.
I wanna have lots and lots of money. Soar above the clouds. I wanna be free, like Nelson Mandela.
The unique factors. It's world standard, but according to Africans' context, which I think is something that has been missing across different programs, amazing programs that are existing all across the globe, but this is just unique.
Here, the ALU, what they will give us is the leadership aspect, one, the technicality, but both of it, which is tailored to Africa needs. Africa for Africa.
Okay, it was an intensive week, as it's called. It's intensive one. One of the highlights is there is a lot of people coming from 25 countries, and you could see that in each country They are really great individuals.
They're able to give you their perspectives from their home countries. Many of them have worked across Africa, and that's the really cool thing about this program, is that it's the Pan-African program.
We've been introduced to African relevant case studies.
I can take what I learn here till next week, Monday, I'm in my office, and I'm going to try out a few of these techniques. So I love the fact that it gives you that opportunity.
It gives me great pleasure to see all of you here to celebrate a milestone in Africa's history. ALU's goal is to develop 3 million leaders all over Africa over the next 5 decades, with the expectation that these leaders will radically transform the face of Africa forever.
ALU is a tertiary education institution that's looking to build 25 universities across the African continent to deliver the most innovative and the world's best curriculum for tertiary education.
There's been a barrier between the world of academia and the world of work. And we're trying to break those barriers by bringing together an innovative program that combines world-class education with practical real-world experience.
ALU has a trimester system. The first 2 trimesters are spent on the campus. At the end of their second trimester, they all go into internships for a 3rd trimester.
By the time you graduate, you already got 1 year work experience under your belt. Think of this as Africa's Ivy League. But instead of getting admitted because of your SAT scores, or because of how much money you have, or which family you come from, the main criteria for getting into this university will be what is your potential that you have for transforming Africa.
I expect to engage in a lot of projects, locally, regionally, and projects that can impact Africa as a whole before I can even graduate.
I just feel like it's a workplace more than like a classroom.
If I could go back 5 years down the line and I am a high school graduate and I'm trying to choose where to go, I would choose ALU because I know that at ALU I can meet other young Africans like me, and so I can have a network across Africa of friends, of collaborators.
Even though we all come from different backgrounds and different cultures, religions, I feel like we have lots of things in common. And the most important thing that we have in common is our love for Africa.
I'm excited about meeting young leaders, new people that we can share ideas with.
My classmates are super passionate and dedicated to changing the continent.
The staff, the students, everybody gets to sit together and like talk. Everybody cares about what we think.
We chose Mauritius as our first location for our university because it's one of the most stable countries, not just in Africa, but in the world. It has all the kind of things that would make a world-class institution, and it's one of the most beautiful countries in the world. I believe that part of it's about having the time of your life. And so when you come to Mauritius, it makes the student experience so much more enjoyable.
We are founders. We are the first set of students here. So it behoves on us to create the culture that will live on 50 years from now.
The students have access into building a university that they want, unlike any other university. Hence, I believe ALU was the perfect university for me.
ALU.
Welcome to ALU. Bienvenue à ALU.
reka dukomeze dukomeze kubabwira rero ko duherereye hano muri Kigali Convention Center ahagiye kubera umuhango wo gutanga impamya bumenyi zitandukanye ahangaha ni mu ishuri rya African Leadership University, aho rero hagiye gutanga impamyabumenyi zitandukanye n'abanyeshuri 38 bagiye guhabwa izi impamyabumenyi aho baturutse mu bihugu 12 nk'uko nabivugaga byo ku mugabane wa Afrika. Mu kanya kashize, mu kanya katambutse, nyakubahwa Perezida wa Repubulika amaze kuganira n'abari ku buryo bwo gutanga ndetse se bwo kubigisha gutanga isomo ry'uyu munsi, aho bashoboye kugira byinshi bakura umuyobozi w'igihugu cy'u Rwanda, aho rero abo banyeshuri 38 aribo barangije iki cyiciro nk'uko twabivugaga kimaze amezi agera kuri 20. Ni ishuri nk'uko twakomeje kubikomozaho, ni ishuri ryagiyeho kugira ngo ubumenyi bw'abanyafrika bw'abanyafrika bushobore guhererwa cyangwa se bashobore kubuhererwa hano ku mugabane wa Afrika. Twagiye twumva amashuri menshi yo ku mugabane wo ku bindi migabane yindi aho abantu bakura ubumenyi ugasanga ibyo bigaga koko mu by'ukuri akenshi babyigaga mu buryo bw'aho ngaho biga, ariko ari ibibazo byo muri Afrika bikenewe gukemurwa n'abanyafrika mu buryo bwabo nk'abantu babizi, ugasanga ntihari ishuri ryihariye. Aribwo rero ishuri ryagiyeho kugira ngo ryibande cyane ku bibazo bya Afrika, bazaba abayobozi b'ejo bigo bikomeye by'ubucuruzi, ibigo bitandukanye babe barabanje guca ahantu basangira ibibazo bihari. Ni muri wa murongo n'ubundi wo kugira ngo abanyafrika bashobore kwigira muri byose. Abo bayobozi bagiye koko babera abayobozi b'ibyo baciyemo, bazi, bumva kandi basangiye bakiri bato, bakiri mu rubyiruko. Abana 38 wenda barangije ubu ngubu n'umubare navuga ngo ugereranyije n'igihe ishuri rimaze, cyane cyane ko ishuri ryatangiye mu mwaka wa 2016 ari aba mbere batangiye kwiyandikisha mu myaka rero 2. Birumvikana ko ayo mezi 20 bamaze hari byinshi bakuyemo, wenda bari buze no gusangiza bari hano, kubera ko nicyo n'abitabiriye hano bakeneye kumenya. Hari abo mu miryango yabo, hari abayobozi mu nzego z'uburezi zitandukanye, hari abashakashatsi mu bigo bitandukanye baje kwitabira umuhango nakwita ko ufite byinshi uvuze kuri Afrika, cyane cyane ko abo bana b'Afrika, urwo rubyiruko rwa Afrika rumaze igihe rwiga rusangira ibyo rwahuye nabyo hirya no hino, ariko mu buryo bwo kurebera imbere Afrika hazaza. Abazayobora ni bande? Ese bazayobora mu by'ukuri bafite iyo bagage cyangwa se bafite impamba ihagije? Aba rero bagiye guhabwa izi impamyabushobozi n'abarangije icyiciro cya 3 cya kaminuza, ariko hakaba hari n'abandi bakiri mu cyiciro cya 2 cya kaminuza, hari abiga ibijyanye na leadership mu nzego za ICT, hari abiga ibijyanye na leadership mu bijyanye na telecommunication, hari n'abandi batandukanye mu mashami agiye atandukanye. Ariko uyu munsi ishami riri busozo cyangwa se ishami rigiye gutanga izi impamyabushobozi ni ishami ry'ibijyanye na business administration cyangwa se nabyita ubuyobozi mu bijyanye n'ubukungu. Mu kanya gato rero nk'uko gahunda navuga iteye, ni gahunda iraza kuba irimo birumvikana umuhango nyirizina, umuhango wo gutanga izi impamyabumenyi, ariko nanone hakaza birumvikana amagambo, umwanya kuba bari buze kuvuga, gufata umwanya w'amagambo atandukanye, harimo rero abayobozi batandukanye cyane cyane ab'iri shuri, akiyongeraho birumvikana n'umwanya uri buze guhabwa uri buvugire abanyeshuri, cyane cyane ko baba baraciye mu rugendo runini. Sinavuga ko wenda ari abanyeshuri mu buryo dusanzwe tumenyereye, kuko n'abanyeshuri baturuka baba basanzwe ari abanyeshuri cyangwa se ari abajeune, ari urubyiruko rusanzwe rukora, rusanzwe rufite ama companies rukoramo, rufite byinshi rwamaze gukuramo, ariko rukajya ku ntebe y'ishuri aho kugira ngo basangire ibyinshi baba baranyuzemo muri ubwo buzima. Hano ndi kumwe na mugenzi wanjye Mutuyezu Jean Claude. Mutuyezu, ngira ngo twahoranye twahoze tuganira kuri iki gikorwa hari ibintu dusanzwe twumva byo kwigira kwa Afrika ariko iyo bigeze mu kuba habaho n'ishuri ryigisha imiyoborere ariko bihereye muri abanyafrika kandi ku mugabane wa Afrika ni ikintu gishya kubera ku ishuri ntiryabagaho kuri wowe ngira ngo hari icyo ubona bishobora kuzungura umugabane wa Afrika
nibyo ngira ngo tuzi neza twese ko akenshi abantu twita experts cyangwa inzobere ari abakunze kuba bava hanze y'ibihugu bya Afrika ni naho usanga ariho bajya kwigira n'ababashije kubona ubwo bushobozi ugasanga bagiye kwigira muri ibyo bihugu byo hanze yaba muri Amerika cyangwa i Burayi n'ahandi hose tuvuga yuko ariho batanga ubumenyi wenda burenze ibyo rero bituma kuba Afrika ubwayo ifite ubu bushobozi kuko biranagaragara niho ibibazo biri niba ari naho ibibazo biri rero n'ibyo bisubizo niho bigomba kuva aha rero kuba Afrika ubwayo yaragize
our faculty as they walk in as at the heart of a learning institution. Our leadership institution is the faculty. These are the amazing men and women who have accompanied our students on this journey. They're the people who are tasked with guiding our students on where to look without telling them what to see. Welcome, faculty. We're delighted to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, as we wait for our guest of honor to walk in, can I just request that we make sure that our phones are all in silent mode? Just double check all 2 or 3 phones that you might have in your bags.
Muko mukomeje kubikurikira turacyari hano muri Kigali Convention Center aho agiye kubera umuhango nyine wo kuha impamyabumenyi bano banyeshuri barangije icyiciro cya gatatu cya kaminuza Masters in Business Administration. Ngira ngo ari ikintu twavuga mu kanya cya kwigira kwa Afrika wenda mu kanya gatoya na nyakubahwa Perezida wa Repubulika y'u Rwanda arabageze hano. Kimwe mu bintu wenda nakunze ni ukuba bano banyeshuri baba basanzwe hari ubuzima babamo bwo gukora mu kazi gatandukanye muri kwa guhura bagasangira bya bibazo akavuga tuba mu buzima bumeze gutya dukora imeze bitya. Iki kintu ni ikintu nacyo kidakunze kuba mu mashuri
na ubundi umuntu akenshi ata ibyo yararimo byose akajya mu kazi nakajya kwiga. Aha rero navuga ko ari umwihariko kuko kubera ko kuba abantu baba basanzwe bari mu kazi kabo n'ibyo baba bari mu kwiga bijyanye n'ibyo bakora. Twabonyemo abantu bo muri za MTN, harimo nk'umuntu wo muri Tigo w'umunyarwanda, aho ubwabyo kuba uwo muntu asanzwe akora muri Tigo azi ibyo abakiriya bakenera, azi ikibazo ashobora guhura nacyo mu kazi. Ibyo rero kubitangamo ibitekerezo hagati imbere ya mwarimu cyangwa n'abandi bose bamuha amasomo bituma binashoboka kuba bakora cyangwa bakora integanyanyigisho ijyanye n'icyo kintu bari kwigisha. Navuga ko ari ikintu gikomeye kidakunze kubaho, kubera ko usanga benshi cyangwa indi myigishirize yita gusa, niba nabyita kuri teori, abantu bakajya mu mastage cyangwa no mu bindi nyuma.
Hari no kuntu usanga integanyanyigisho imaze imyaka 25 idahinduka, ugasanga ni ibintu bimwe, ni amasomo ya naya umurayiga uko bakuru bawe bayize
bahigaga. Ubwo urumva isomo ryatangwaga muri 50, isi yarahindutse. Isi ubu irimo tekinoloji, isi irimo uburyo bwo gucunga abakozi butandukanye, irimo uburyo bwo gushunga.
ngira ngo nyakubahwa Perezida wa Repubulika y'u Rwanda akaba ageze hano.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we all be upstanding to welcome the guest of honor, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Rwanda. Please be seated, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the African Leadership University, I am delighted to extend a very warm African welcome to you all. It's an exciting day for us here, a high point of what has been a 2-year journey for 38 talented professionals from across 16 countries in the continent and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the graduates of ALU's School of Business MBA class of 2018, let's give a round of applause befitting of this occasion. I think they're trying to keep us in suspense. Making a grand entrance, MBA class of 2018, ladies and gentlemen. Can we all remain upstanding, please, ladies and gentlemen? We will start the program today with the national anthem, followed by an opening prayer, which will be led by Bishop John Rukyahana. Ladies and gentlemen, to lead us in the national anthem, I will invite Blaise Pascal to lead us in singing the first and last stanza.
Rwanda nziza gihugu cyacu wuje imisozi ibiyaga n'ibirunga ngo byiduhetse gahora n'ishya reka tukurate tukuvuge ibigwi wowe utubumbiye hamwe twese abanyarwanda uko watubyaye berwa sugira singizwa iteka komeza imihigo Rwanda dukunda duhagurukiye kukwitangira ngo amahoro asabe mu bagutuye wishyire wizane muri byose urangwe n'ishyaka utera imbere uhamye umubano n'amahanga yose maze ijabo ryahawe riguhe ijambo.
Let us pray. We thank you and give you glory, dear loving Lord and Father, for all investment, human and otherwise, that creates the atmosphere for Rwanda to be able to have such a purpose-led education. We pray, dear loving Lord, that those who graduate from such a purpose may not only be leaders in the century, but also be strategic, industrious, for the continuation of the betterment of Africa and the global village. Bless us as we continue to groan for our transformation. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Your Excellency, Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda, Dr. Fred Swaneker, Founder and CEO of the African Leadership Group, Honorable Dr. Eugene Mutimura, Minister of Education, Mr. Strive Masiyiwa, Executive Chairman and Founder of Econet Group, Mrs. Wendy Luhabe, Chairperson of the Board, African Leadership University, our esteemed dignitaries, guests, families, and friends, members of the MBA class of 2018, all protocols observed. A very warm welcome to you all on this auspicious occasion. 3 years ago, the African Leadership University was born out of a vision that started several years before that to develop the next generation of ethical African leaders. 1 year later, in 2016, the School of Business launched its MBA program designed for rising professionals across the continent who aspire to lead change and catalyze the prosperity of Africa. The ALU School of Business MBA degree is tailored to the African context and now actively empowers over 100 professionals with networks that ease the process of doing business in Africa. The ALU SB MBA is one of a kind, and we proudly refer to it as Africa's MBA. Its launch in this beautiful land of 1,000 hills was by no means an accident. The ALUSB MBA needed to be established in a knowledge-based, service-oriented economy that would provide a progressive, supportive, and accessible environment. And so it was. Today, we are in this lovely city of Kigali to celebrate the graduation of the founding MBA class of 2018. In line with our African culture, when we celebrate, we dance. The performance we're about to see is a celebration dance, usually performed when warriors return victorious from battle. Today is a victorious day for our students, their families, their friends, for our entire community. To perform the celebration dance, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Inganzo Ngali.
Kanjoringa bikena Karame mu Rwanda Karame nanone Ikarame mushombora giyinya Inyanga mutsindo tumoe mundu we Karame mu Rwanda Yeura winda mutsawe Maramuko na maramuko. Nabanja twisira abandi mwe munesha bikwari narahaye muhungu ni mwarwa muniga iyambagire yarahaye ruhirimo rwa kigando umutanazi namufatiye kwihicumu nabanje bagira bazatsinda barusakira impanyi nkubikaraganyije urusakabase wabasuhumba uruziye ehe se nyamihibwa mwe ani magwariro Tanzania kwirahira ntazoca mwe ntaru tumukombe tubagende cyogera mu nkuba n'inge mugende muri segene mu nyoni cyuma cy'indege korara subuguru kakano bukujoza mihigo hameze neza cyogera mu nkuba tambuka neza byo mu byambetare aho ni wanyu basongera gendo yego kwe Bigena bona magara cyangwa mutamosa ngoro gamba kora tambuka neza byo mu byambetare magara ko muri kwari kabanyamazakaro wambaye aho matema mazina zero batandukanye Rutambira byo rwakimanije. Rutero kabarwana rukaba manu barwana cyakarugeriza rwanda. Abarutuhunze gitaramo cyabane narusha abatoro bitwa nibega temande bintu gakabakunda kabimanzi imigo kwanza gusigana umusozo rutabara. Rusakara ni ngome tarwa. Rusakara bakunze ngamusozo rutabara. Neza ntore turwa. Yego kwe. Bareza makundo rutabangira.
Another round of applause for Ingazongali. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the opening remarks, it is my distinct privilege to introduce the Chairman and CEO of the African Leadership Group, founder of the African Leadership University. Please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Dr. Fred Swaneker.
Your Excellency, Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda, Dr. Strive Masiyiwa, distinguished graduation speaker, Honorable Eugene Mutimira, Minister of Education, Honorable Jean Dedu Rurangira, Minister of Technology, Honorable Vincent Biruta, Minister of Natural Resources, Claire Kamanzi, CEO of the Rwanda Development Board, Dr. Emmanuel Muvunyi, Executive Director of the Rwanda Higher Education Council, Mr. Francis Gatare, CEO of Rwanda Mines and Petroleum Board, Dr. Diane Karisisi, MD of the Bank of Kigali, Mr. Faustin Mbundu, and fellow board members of the African Leadership University, co-founders of the African Leadership Group, distinguished guests, staff members, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me tremendous pleasure to speak with you today. Indeed, we're here to celebrate a milestone, because not only is this the first ever graduation ceremony of African Leadership University School of Business, but it's the first graduation of students from the entire African Leadership University system. And this is the first of what will eventually be 3 million African leaders who will serve as catalysts of innovation, prosperity, good governance, entrepreneurship, and poverty reduction for Africa. So to the class of 2018, I say congratulations. You made it. I have huge admiration for all of you, juggling the demands of rigorous academic program, high-flying careers, your family, travel, leadership labs, and so much else. This tells me that you're a truly special breed of African. I'm so proud of you, and I've been blown away by the tremendous growth that you've demonstrated in just 20 months. Let me share with you a few stories of some of the growth that we have seen. Today, Papa Ngobop, who started out as the head of marketing for his dairy company in Senegal, has gone from that position to now being the deputy CEO and the successor to the CEO of the company. David Wafula, who's the CFO of an energy generation company here in Rwanda, has had his responsibilities expanded from Rwanda to the whole of Africa in these last 22 months. Caris, who's also from Rwanda, began the MBA and at the time was negotiating the sale of her company. She realized after taking finance with us that she was undervaluing herself, and so she upped her price and got 2 times what she had originally expected to get for her company. We have Melen from Ethiopia, who's now advising the transitional government in Ethiopia on how to reorganize the Ministry of Agriculture. Mathieu from Louis Dreyfus started out as the CFO of Louis Dreyfus for West and Southern Africa and has now been made the CFO of the whole of Africa for Louis Dreyfus. And I think about Alana Finley from the United States, who yesterday shared with me that since she began the MBA, her salary has gone up by 10 times. So either you were grossly underpaid before, or this MBA does magic. And finally, Mulugeta from Ethiopia, who started out as the ops manager of the largest chicken products processing company in Ethiopia, and has managed to identify opportunities to save them $500,000 a year through their operations. These are just a few of the many stories that make up this class. Stories of transformation, stories of growth that we have seen in just 20 months on this MBA program. Now, on this momentous occasion, I want to express my deepest gratitude to certain people without whom we would not have reached this milestone. First and foremost, I want to thank the families of these 40 people. At all graduations, we thank the families for the support that they've given to the graduates. But this one is particularly special because these are professionals. They're mid-career professionals with an average of 15 years of work experience. So these are people with wives and children and families, and you can imagine the strain of pursuing an MBA at the same time as a career and travel and so forth. So your families, today is your graduation day. I'd also like to thank the team that has been behind this. We have a tremendously talented team of staff here at the African Leadership University. And it goes back all the way to John Mahoney, the founding COO, who worked very hard to bring this program to life. We have Dean Modupe, who was the last 2 years steward of this program. The Vice Dean, Catherine Duggan. Our own John Kimani, who admitted you as the first director of admissions. Maulum, who has been the genius behind a lot of operations here. Steve Belkey, Emmett, Vani, and especially Ryan Findley, who has very carefully architected every piece of learning that you've gone through over the last 2 years as a chief learning officer of the business school. So this team is really the stars that has helped to put this excellent program together. I'd also like to thank President Kagame. For his hospitality in welcoming the African Leadership University to Rwanda in the first place. What you see here today is only a small portion of the larger African Leadership University project that is happening in this country. The MBA program has about 120 participants, but we have now almost 600 who will be in the undergraduate program, and we expect to grow to about 3,000 in the next 5 years here in Rwanda. And we would not have been possible without the hospitality of President Kagame. And many people ask me, why did you come to Rwanda to set up ALU here? And my answer is very simple. We wanted to show them an example of an Africa that works. So that when young people come from all across Africa and they see the progress that has been achieved in Rwanda in just 24 years, you have no excuse to not be able to replicate what you see here in Rwanda. And in fact, the job has been done. Rwanda works so well that when the African Union was looking for someone to make sure that Africa could work as a continent, all the presidents could vote no one else but President Kagame to lead them through the reform. And so we're very grateful to you, Your Excellency. I'd also like to thank Dr. Emmanuel Muvunye and the Higher Education Council for the high academic standards to which you are upholding all universities in Rwanda. And this is a testament to your leadership, and we are blessed to be in partnership with you as we set the standards of academic excellence in Rwanda, in Africa, and for the world more broadly. And finally, I'd like to thank the Rwanda Development Board. Your efficiency really embodies the notion of remarkable Rwanda, and you have been our partner in ensuring that this is truly a pleasure to do business in this country. It started first in our relationship with Francis Gatare, and now with you, Claire Akamanzi, and we're so grateful to all the support that you've given us in getting established here. Finally, I want to just take a moment to talk about pioneers. According to thesaurus.com, a pioneer is described in one of three ways. A person who is among the first to enter or settle a region, therefore opening it up for occupation and development for others. The second way they describe a pioneer is as one who's first or among the earliest in any field of inquiry, enterprise, or progress. Third way they describe this is as one of a group of foot soldiers who are detailed to make roads, to dig entrenchments, etc., in advance of the main body. So you see, pioneers lay the pathway. They lay the foundation for many, many others to follow. They are the risk takers. They're the ones who have the vision. They change the world. They bring innovation. And therefore, all human progress is ultimately due to the work of pioneers. Today in our midst, we have three inspiring pioneers that I would like to recognize. The first are the MBA graduates. As the founding class of this program, you took a leap of faith. Your colleague Aaron described last night about the importance of going rogue. You took the path less beaten. You went to an MBA program that you were not even sure you would find when you arrived in Kigali. Was this real? But you took the chance. In my experience, those who are the first to venture into an area, the highest risk takers are also the ones most likely to change the world. And therefore, you have laid the foundation for the next generation of African leaders who are going to follow you, and you're beginning to catalyze a large-scale movement that you really embody. The second pioneer that we have in our midst is our soon-to-be graduation speaker. You called him Mr. Strive Masiyiwa, but I received an honorary doctorate together with him, so today I'm going to call him Dr. Strive Masiyiwa. Who is also one of the great pioneers on the African continent in what he did to lay the foundation for the mobile phone revolution that we all benefit from today. In setting up Econet Wireless, and then later on Illiquid Telecom, bringing digital media, entertainment through Kwese TV. This is a man who has been pioneering for the last 30 years. And therefore we thought, who better to speak to you on your graduation day than one of Africa's greatest pioneers. And if you want to see what we expect from you in 20 or 30 years, Dr. Strive Masiyiwa. Finally, Rwanda itself is a wonderful example of a pioneering country. One of the first countries in Africa to make visa-free travel for most African countries. And now 20 other countries have followed suit. The first country in Africa to allow the delivery of blood through drone delivery, through drones, to different hospitals across the country. The first country in Africa to invest in building its brand by sponsoring a Premier Soccer League, Premier League football country. For those of you who don't know, watch the Premier League football matches and you'll see Arsenal and there's remarkable Rwanda on it. Which country does this in Africa? And the first country to be innovative enough to allow the Pan-African MBA program to be launched that would bring together curriculum from Harvard Business School, Wharton Business School, McKinsey Academy, Drucker, African Leadership University, leadership, entrepreneurship, and Africa's top business leaders to come and teach you. This is truly revolutionary. There's nothing like this anywhere in the world. And Rwanda recognized this and also welcomed us here. And the first country in Africa to achieve such rapid progress in such a short period of time. This is really to Rwanda as a pioneering country. So as we go forward today, my message to you as graduates is that Africa simply needs more pioneers. That is the only way we're going to see progress. We talk about, in the movie Black Panther, vibranium, this hidden energy source that drives prosperity in Africa. Vibranium is not a piece of resource under the ground. It's above ground. It's the people that we have in Africa. That is our greatest wealth. And today, if you want to see what vibranium looks like, they're sitting right here. So here's the 3 million more pioneers that are going to come out of the African Leadership University over the next 2 decades that will lay the foundation, do the groundwork, do the hard things that need to be done to build this continent, to ensure that as we hurtle towards becoming this is also going to become one of the greatest eras of prosperity and innovation that not only Africa will see, but the entire world. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those words, Fred. I'm hoping that we'll be getting all of you knocking down our doors coming to sign up for our MBA after the insights we've just heard. With that, the next segment is a segment on special awards. To introduce and present these awards, I would like to invite Ryan Finley, Chief Learning Officer, ALU School of Business, for the first award.
Good afternoon. The African Leadership University School of Business takes its name very seriously. The mission of the school is to train the next generation of African leaders, and as such, students in this program will spend 25% of their time in leadership development. ALUSB's leadership course, known as the Leadership Lab, prompts students to practice what we call V3 leadership, a mixture of virtuous action, visionary thinking, and value creation. The student receiving the V3 award finished in the top 5 of the Leadership Lab class in every term it was offered, which is every term of the program. In fact, he was the top scoring student twice. But the student did not only achieve admirable marks in the Leadership Lab course, but he also showed real leadership in real life. Since joining ALUSB, this student was promoted to the acting regional head of his department at a large multinational firm. Despite going from 0 direct reports to 10 overnight, this student reported the best quarterly performance that the company had seen in 2 years and led an instant office culture turnaround. After the company conducted a thorough search to determine his long-term successor, they realized that they could find no one better, and they offered him the job. Beyond his professional achievements, this student has been a model for leadership behavior throughout the program's intensives and the terms, and he is a model for this program. It is my great delight to announce that the V3 award winner from Kenya is Peter Mutuku.
To present the second award, I invite Dr. Mudupe Taylor-Pierce, Dean at the ALU School of Business.
Good morning. All protocols observed. At the African Leadership University School of Business, we are building a brand, and a brand is a promise. And the promise that we make to both our students and to the business community in Africa as a whole is that we are leading our students into a transformation process that transforms them from competent managers who have been successful in running a business in a particular industry, in a particular country, into competent leaders who can be parachuted into any country in Africa and be successful in any industry, in any country. That's a bold promise. For that to happen, in addition to the focus we place on leadership, we also place a significant focus on the subject of doing business in Africa. Every student that goes through our MBA program will become intimately familiar with the term DBIA. DBIA essentially means that we understand that doing business in Africa is not doing business as usual. That Africa is not just one homogeneous place, but it is not 54 different countries with over 100 different cultures. And there needs to be a recognition of the nuances that are involved in being successful. In order to achieve this, we created a number of courses, including entrepreneurship and innovation. We also created a course called Politics, Economics, and the Context of Business in Africa, fondly known as PCAB. We also put the students through a rigorous business implementation process called the capstone. And for those who don't know what it's like, think of it as you putting together everything that you've had to learn into achieving something out of nothing. All of these things are very difficult to do, but every single one of these graduates has performed excellently in DBIA. Let's give them a round of applause. However, there is one student who has raised her head slightly above the rest. She has performed excellently in entrepreneurship and innovation. She has gotten top marks in PCAB, and for her capstone, she implemented a transformative process that has made a difference for a multinational African company that has been so transformative that her CEO has graced us with his presence today. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask all of us to acknowledge the performance and the achievements of Mrs. Oluwatoyin Arowolo.
Today is a celebration of our students, our pioneers, and their exemplary performance, drive, and commitment that has led to this occasion. Representing the students, it is now my pleasure to welcome the speaker for the MBA class of 2018. She hails from South Africa and is fondly known by all for her creativity, passion, and can-do attitude. She's a strong believer in building and sharing important narratives through powerful storytelling. Let's give a warm round of applause for Miss Jessica Emma Roussos.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for allowing me the privilege of speaking at our graduation. We've spent the past week reflecting and preparing for graduation, closing off classes and thinking about the future. In this time, I have realized what an accomplishment it is to have made it this far, and we have made it. We are now graduates, and not just any graduates, but the founding MBA graduates of the African Leadership University School of Business, and that is something to celebrate. There were times when we thought it would never end, and times when we didn't want it to ever end. But we have now reached just that, the end. We could never have taken this journey without our friends and family who are here today supporting us, as well as those who could not make it, but support us still. Thank you to you all. Thank you to... Thank you to our faculty and the MBA team members for getting us here. Even through last-minute extension requests, missed flights, and intensive mornings when we might have slept through classes. Thank you for getting us to the finish line. I want to start us off with a story. My parents, who are here today, spent their 20s and 30s involved in the struggle against apartheid in South Africa. This is not a story of them being heroes, but a story about being on the right side of history. My parents' involvement in the struggle put them on the right side of history. It also gave me an answer to a question that many of us like to ask ourselves, a question about what would I have done? What would I have done if I had lived in Nazi Germany? What would I have done if I had lived in Cairo during the Arab Spring? What would I have done if I had been a white South African during apartheid? Would I have stood by and lived a comfortable life? Or would I have done something to be on the right side of history? My parents' involvement in the struggle gave me, if not an answer, then an imperative to strive to do the right thing and to have the courage to be on the right side of history. This is the reason I ended up at ALU. It is the reason we are all here, to make a change for the better. When I consider that decision to join ALU, it feels like a pivotal moment in my life. When we're lucky enough, we recognize these pivotal moments for what they are and give them the attention they deserve. I have had 3 such pivotal moments that I can see so far. The first was when I met my partner, Adam. I stood at a literal and metaphorical crossroads, and I remember thinking that the choice I made would change just about everything. I made a choice, and here we are, more than 10 years later, never having regretted it for a second. The second was deciding to leave South Africa and pursue my master's in creative writing in the UK. I left home without a clear sense of what I would do in London or how I would pay for my master's. What I did have in that moment was the understanding that this was something important, something vital to me. And it was one of the most fulfilling and rewarding experiences I have ever had. The third was our decision to leave London and to join ALU. This was a choice that set us back on the path of doing something bigger than ourselves, something that will put us on the right side of history. And so here we all are, having made this pivotal decision, striving to do better and to be better. And what a ride it has been. Over the past 2 years, we've seen 7 babies born, celebrated 4 marriages, and say goodbye to many friends that started this journey with us. We have gotten to know each other in ways we never expected, found incredible friends and sadhus that will last us a lifetime. And we've learned a bit along the way too. And now here we all are, graduating, being sent out into the world. For this, we will need to take courage. When I was starting my previous degree, a master's in creative writing, my aunt took me out to lunch. She sat me down and told me that maybe I should do something practical instead. Didn't I want to maybe just become a teacher? I did not. I completed my master's, and by the end of it, my aunt was a firm fan of the program. And so when I was starting my next degree, this one, I thought that while it wasn't teaching, I was maybe still following that advice somehow, pursuing a more practical degree. Having come to the end of this MBA, many of the most important things I have learned are common to both of my masters. And so I would like to offer you a few of the lessons I learned in both my creative writing MA and my MBA. Lesson number 1, on feedback. In my MA, we learned about the importance of taking feedback on board to improve your writing. We also learned the importance of knowing when to ignore feedback and follow your instincts. This was echoed in our MBA. We learned that feedback is a gift that we should give and receive with grace and courage. We also learned in our entrepreneurship and innovation course the importance of ignoring feedback when it makes you doubt your vision. Lesson number 2, on people. When I started my MA, I was told that the thing that made it truly special was the people we would meet. This has proven again and again to be true in this MBA. From the incredible friends to the dynamic business partners to the formidable guest speakers that we've had access to. Throughout both programs, it's been the people that matter most. Lesson number 3, on leadership. On our first day of my MA, my course convener said something that has stuck with me ever since. He said that it was not his job to make us good writers. You can't make good writers, he said, but you can take good writers and make them better. This one resonated with a particular moment in my MBA when one of our leadership lab faculty members told us his theory of leadership. He said that he couldn't teach us leadership, but that we could learn to be better people and thus better leaders. These 3 lessons will be instrumental for us as we transition into this next phase of our lives. We will need to be open to feedback, keep surrounding ourselves with incredible people, and continue to refine our leadership practice as we step into the future. I spoke earlier of pivotal moments and that change the course of a life. We all faced a pivotal moment like this almost 2 years ago now when we joined this program. And this is another such pivotal moment. Our choice today is different. It is at once more difficult than anything we have ever done before, and easier, as we are more prepared for it than ever before. Our choice now is to either continue with life as we have been living it, or to step into an African century with boldness and courage and determination. Fred always tells us to do hard things, and doing hard things takes courage, my friends, so I implore you to take courage. Many of us will leave here today looking forward to a break, to finally getting some sleep, and to getting our weekends back. Unfortunately for you all, I'm afraid I have to tell you that the real work starts now. People speak of an African century to come, but that African century relies on us Africans right here to make it so. It is our job to usher in this African century, and we will do so with the integrity and courage that this institution has afforded us. All of us have a role to play in the African century to come. For some of us, it is to be the entrepreneurs that reform the way we approach agriculture on the continent, or bring shared service centers to Nigeria, creating thousands of jobs, that revolutionize how we approach and utilize our cities. For some of us, it is to be the incubators of the future leaders currently completing their undergrads in Mauritius and Rwanda. It is to us that falls the role of being the HR execs that hire ALU graduates, welcoming them into our co-working spaces, and creating an ecosystem that ensures not only their success, but the success of the continent. For yet others, our role will be in having the courage to take up public office. Our vision for a prosperous, peaceful, and world-leading Africa is near at hand. It is our job to make it so. We must take courage to see all the challenges and do it anyway. The courage to stand up to corruption and ineptitude, even when it is the way things work. The courage to take a chance on a classmate with a crazy idea. With everything we have gained over these past 2 years, and everything we are today, and the courage to continue, the African century will become a reality, so that in 20 years or in 40, we will be able to tell our children or even grandchildren when they ask us where we were at the dawn of the African century, that we were on the right side of history. So as I leave you to the next speaker, I will do so with one reminder. Our very first Drucker course told us that it's not what you learn today that matters, but what you put into action on Monday. Courage, my friends, starts on Monday. The African century is at hand, and I believe that we are the right people for the job. We have the right tools at our disposal, if only we will believe and take courage and use them. And so, my fellow graduates, my wish for you and my exhortation is this, that you will have the courage you need to make this our African century. Go forth, my friends, take courage, and let's build the future together. Thank you.
Thank you, Jess. Here at the African Leadership University, our DNA is anchored on entrepreneurship and ethical leadership, as you've heard. This is the foundation for who we are. It is the foundation for the change agents and problem solvers we're developing across our institutions. So it is with intense excitement that I'm pleased to welcome our keynote speaker. Dr. Strive Masiyiwa is the executive chairman and founder of the Econet Group. Dr. Masiyiwa is an internationally recognized business leader, entrepreneur, humanitarian, and philanthropist who has attained tremendous success in business while embodying 3 key elements of leadership that we seek to instill in all our graduates: vision, values, and virtue. He is a shining example of the impact a courageous leader can have on the world, and we are honored to have him as our keynote speaker here today. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a resoundingly warm welcome to Strive Masiyiwa.
What a wonderful honor it is to take this stage after hearing those words from an extraordinary young African. Thank you. Thank you for those wonderful words. Your Excellency, President Paul Kagame, she said something there that was very interesting, Mr. President. She talked about being on the right side of history. There's also a point of being at the right place in history. Today we're at the right place in history. Allow me to begin by just acknowledging the extraordinary students, this inaugural class that is at the right place in history. You know, I never hesitated to come, Fred, because I knew that someday this is one of those days you'll ask yourself, where was I? What you have begun here with your colleagues is surely, truly, only by the term of Rwanda, remarkable. And remarkable because it's in Rwanda. The remarkable heartbeat of Africa. Let me share with you something else I picked up in that class we did with the president this morning. No one told me I was going to school. But what a privilege we had this morning to have the president take a class. And he said something which in many ways resonates with the theme of what I want to share with you as an entrepreneur. Big visions. We have a lot of big visions in Africa. But big visions often require humble beginnings. Seen across the backdrop of great institutions of the world, one might think, ALU, this is small. But Harvard was once just like you are today, or any other great institution of the world. You have begun one of the great institutions of Africa. It's a big vision which has been started on humble beginnings. And yet it has all the audacity of hope that we hold as a continent, of our expectation that we hold as a continent. The big vision will require implementers. Because as the President said, if we have visions and yet we cannot get down to the details of how we execute those visions, we can do nothing. They just remain big visions that might just frustrate us. You know, as I was thinking about what to share with you today, and I listened to the case study. That must be quite something with you guys, huh? Case study. I thought of a case study for you. So maybe I can share one with you of big visions that require humble beginnings and how we attack some of the problems. I've often said on my Facebook blogs, I don't know who follows those, I hear a few people do, that if you want to be truly successful, you must reach out to solve a problem. Identify a human need and reach out to solve it. That is all you need to do. You know, 20 years ago, I was reading a newspaper magazine article, and it had this American entrepreneur on the front page. I don't know what happened to him. But he was talking about building a fiber optic network that would span around the whole world. And he called it Global Crossing. And that these undersea cables would run around, all around the world, run around Africa, go to Asia, the Americas. And he had little spots where these cables would drop in. Of course, I lived in Harare, landlocked country, and I looked at this map and I panicked. And I said, what about us? We're going to be left out of this revolution of the internet, because we were beginning to talk about the internet. And I said, why can't we have an African crossing? Why can't we go and connect those cables that will come from the sea to the African countries that sit within the continent? Maybe we can connect the cities. Maybe we can have an African crossing. So we came up with this audacious project called African Crossing. So where do we begin? That's where vision now meets reality. We decided that we were going to build just from Cape Town to Harare in Zimbabwe. It took us 5 years to cross the border. All of it was political wrangling. There were 17 approvals required, 17, to cross the river between Zimbabwe and South Africa, the Limpopo. And I was trying to cross Africa. And let me tell you, with Wendy Luhabe here, there were 17 approvals, Wendy. 16 were South African. goodness, even the Bird Society got involved. You know, how do I cross this river? Will a bird land on it and drop the bridge, you know? And finally, we slipped past and we got it built. Don't ask me even today. We got it built. So we got to Harare. And we were digging. We had 5,000 people digging along the sides of the roads. And nobody asked why and for whom are we digging. We just kept hiring villagers and saying, would you like to work along this project? And they had Chinese, it was a Chinese contractor, but maybe that's why no one asked. So we built. And then when we got to Harare, then I revealed to the team that was building that I actually would like them to build to the border with Zambia. But I never told them why. And when we got to the border with Zambia, all hell broke loose. Because suddenly the people in Zimbabwe discovered that there was something else going on. And so we had another wrangle. And finally, I came up with this idea. Went to see the Zambian president and said, you know, I was just trying to bring the internet here. But it looks like your neighbor next door doesn't want to let you have the internet because I've just given him the internet. So the following day, I was called and told, what did you tell the guys in Zambia? Because they are making such a big fuss about your cable. Please proceed. So our cable proceeded to Zambia, and then it proceeded to the DRC. And you know what happened there? Oh my goodness, 3 years at the border. So we kind of abandoned Lubumbashi for a while, and we headed to Kenya. And when we arrived in East Africa, we came to Rwanda. And before we had even, I remember someone coming to me and saying, we have all the approvals. I said, but you went there 2 weeks ago. It has taken us 10 years to get here, and you're telling me in Rwanda they have approved everything. But we haven't done anything. They said, well, they've said you can go ahead and build. And so we came to Rwanda, and we built. And we proceeded on to Uganda, and suddenly we were getting a lot of help. And as I speak today, Mr. President, we are 6 weeks from Cairo. We'll be signing an agreement later on this week to complete Cape to Cairo. 60,000 kilometers. Digging with a teaspoon. That's what I used to call it. So what does it tell us? It tells us a couple of simple things that I want you to take away. When you have a vision, we still need people like you to build it. One of the things I realized as we built this platform was that you need to hire entrepreneurs, which was a surprise because you think entrepreneurs are there to start businesses. Steve Jobs is dead, so who gave us the iWatch? If it's all done by the entrepreneur who started the business. No, everybody must be an entrepreneur. We need an entrepreneurial revolution on this continent. And it starts with you. But let me not run ahead of myself. We have started to build from Port Sudan to N'Djamena, across Sudan, 2,500 kilometers, to Port Sudan, to N'Djamena in Chad, which as the Nigerians will tell you is 200 kilometers from the border. We are testing the system because it has been built. We hope to be in Lagos by Christmas. We have already built, we did go back to the DRC and we showed them that this was about connecting Africa. And they finally said to us, go ahead. So we are now testing for the first time in history, Lubumbashi to Kinshasa. It has been built. It has been built by young Africans from all over the continent. Many of them are entrepreneurs. Many of them were actually building their own businesses, like Sam Nkusi, a Rwandese partner of ours, because in each country we built with partners. And Sam is the one who's been busy all week negotiating in Egypt and in Chad so that we can complete the launch ceremonies. The big visions need humble beginnings. If your vision is such that it is so big that you can't start, then you never will start. There is nothing that you cannot do from here. There's nothing we cannot do to build this continent. There's nothing. We have the people, we have the resources. We don't have much. It's true. As I wrote the other week, I said, in Africa it sometimes seems like we don't have enough of anything. We don't have enough schools, we don't have enough teachers, we don't have enough doctors, we don't have enough whatever, we don't have enough food. But not having enough does not mean we have nothing. We have enough to get going, to drive the transformation that this continent needs. Here's a statistic for you. How many young people do you think turn 18 every month on this continent? Probably a million. That's how many jobs we need to create, at least 10 million a year. Is the glass half full or is it half empty? It's up to us. 40% of the world's population, as Fred said a few minutes ago, will be African by the turn of this century. The alarmists will say to us that we will starve. How can we feed 4 billion people? Well, you know, how many of us were there? How many Africans in 1950? Maybe about 250 million. We're 1.2 billion. I didn't bump into many starving people on my way into here. You guys look fine. Okay, we will be just fine. Okay? Don't listen to them. Okay? We've never had a smarter, more equipped generation than the young people that you see before you today. I said to the president earlier, if I could turn the clock back to when I was your age, I would have loved to be sitting with you. This is how we are supposed to do it. You listen to that young lady from South Africa, that young African from South Africa. This is how we are supposed to do it. We need to build more of these centers. So here's what I want you to take away. You're the alumni. This institution is only as good as you, not Fred. Because the thing is, you know, we go and we admire Stanford and we admire Harvard, these are great institutions, and they are great. But they were built by the people that went there. They weren't built by governments. They were built by the people that went there. One of our great challenges with our continent is Mother Africa is so big that we often forget that she has needs. Africa is a place where people are used to taking. We need to turn to giving to Africa. Africa needs us to give to her. She needs us to give to her the way President talked earlier on when he gave the example of the families that built, that gave during the liberation struggles. The challenges we have require us to go back to that mindset. How do we give sacrificially to Mother Africa? Not to take from her. She's so big, we forget that she has needs too. She's so fragile. She just doesn't look it. But we have a fragile ecosystem. We have to protect this continent. We have to begin to give back into Africa. So we should not go and think, what can I take out of Africa? But what can I put back in? What can I give to build this place? And it begins here. This institution that you have built. Go back and say, what can we give to build this vision together? This can be scaled. He has the vision, he says 3 million. I have no doubt. This is an extraordinary young man, extraordinary group of people. Knowing how hard it is, I salute Fred. You know, we've been all watching the World Cup, and I'm a proud broadcaster of the World Cup. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to download the app, okay? Just got to plug in for a little bit for the business side, yeah? But you know, you watch those young people bring down the ball, dead, boom, stops. 20 years ago, they couldn't do that. It's the skill, it's the training, it's the work that they put into it. They make it look so simple. You guys make it look so simple. But I know how hard it has been. I know how hard it has been on your families. The vision that brought you here is the vision that can make you dig anything with a teaspoon and build anything. Cape to Cairo is a highway. What goes on it, you must build. Rwanda, a remarkable country, a blessed country. My wife wanted to be here with us this morning. She chose to go back to the Genocide Museum. First place I went when I came to Rwanda. Make sure you go back there too. Always remembering that as a compass. That when we don't get it right, the price can be extraordinary. This place, this dream, this vision, this remarkable leadership, God bless you and thank you so much.
Thank you for those very inspirational words, Dr. Masiyiwa. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment I think we've all been waiting for 2 years, I think, has arrived. It is now time for our degree award ceremony. It is my pleasure to call upon Dean Modupe Taylor-Pierce to announce and present the candidates for the degrees. And may I also ask that Dr. Fred Swaneker, Vice Dean Professor Catherine Duggan, join Dean Taylor-Pierce at the front of the podium. May I also ask that the first row take your positions, ready for this next segment.
Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. As Dean of the African Leadership University School of Business, and on behalf of the Academic Senate of the African Leadership University, I have the honor to present the following candidates for the degree of Master of Business Administration. From the United States of America, Aaron Philip Cohn. From Zimbabwe and the United Kingdom, Adam Luke Davis. From Nigeria, Adedayo Muideen Donmoye. From Nigeria, Akintoye Inumidun Ashaolu. From South Africa and Germany, Alexander Edwin Adam Collier. From the United States of America, Alana Danette Finley. From Kenya, Andrew Gaitirira Karoe. From Nigeria, Ayomide Abiodu Oluwadare. From Ghana, Bafo Yao Dodu Apia Korang. From Rwanda, Blaise Pascal Kasipira. From Nigeria, Chinedu Isaac Nwachukwu. From Ghana, Christiane Beatrice Koenig. From Rwanda, Clarisse Iribagiza. From Kenya, Wafula David Wanjala. From Kenya, Diana Tumaini Mulili. From Morocco, Elamine Aloe Suleimani. From Kenya, Emmanuel Miumo Ogombo. From Rwanda, Fabrice Ndatira. From Cameroon, Guy Blaise Foku So. From Sierra Leone and the USA, Harun Rashid Habib. From Ghana, Isaac Owusu Efriye. From South Africa and Cyprus, Jessica Emma Roussos. From South Africa, Lesotho, Petronella Mutsilinyane. From Tanzania, from Tanzania, Lilian Sechilela Roda Madeje. From Nigeria, Marilyn Ngozi Maduka. From Switzerland, Mathieu Bourki. From the United States of America, Matthew Jerome Grolnick. From Ethiopia, Melon Adamu Haile. From Ethiopia, Mulugeta Abraha Tareke. From South Africa, Ntakadzeni Constance Netsifefe. From Nigeria, Oluwatoyin Taiwo Arowolo. From Senegal, Papa Ngor Bob. From Namibia, Peter Etuhole Aluhote Shivute. From Kenya, Peter Musoka Mutuku. From Kenya, Purity Kagwiria. From Kenya, Ronald Ngoge Maina. From Zimbabwe, Tinacho Gerald Chitongo. And from Nigeria, Tolulope Omolara Agumbiade. On behalf of the Vice Chancellor of the African Leadership University, and by the authority vested in me by the African Leadership University Academic Senate and Higher Education Council of Rwanda, I am pleased to bestow upon you the degree of Master of Business Administration. Congratulations to the class of 2018.
Congratulations, class of 2018. We will now have our Vice President of Human Capital, who is also our former Chief Operating Officer at the ALU School of Business, Maolom Esen Kumsen, come forward. She will welcome the guest of honor to grace us with his address.
Our guest of honor, as you heard just this morning, became the most distinguished guest to ever have graced our classroom as an all-star faculty member of the ALU School of Business. He delivered a gentle yet resounding lecture on coordination and leadership based on a case study written by our very own Professor Catherine Duggan. If we learned anything from his class this morning, it is an affirmation of his exemplary leadership as a visionary and yet one who spares no details. Indeed, when we refer to leadership in the African century, there are few leaders who exemplify this leadership more than our guest of honor. I would go as far as to venture that he is one of the pioneers of the African century and the type of leadership it warrants. An ardent supporter of the ALU of the African Leadership University's vision, he has welcomed us with open arms into the land of 1,000 hills and celebrated with us as we continue to reimagine education. It is indeed an honor, Your Excellency, to have you with us at our very first graduation at the African Leadership University School of Business. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, Class of 2018, I present to you His Excellency Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda.
Thank you. Class 2018, congratulations once again. Fred Swanika, Chairman and founder of African Leadership University, Archer Leke and Chris Bradford, co-founders, special guest, Swive Masiwa, members of the LAU board and LAU executive committee, provost, dean, faculty and staff of the LAU School of Business, graduates and your families and friends, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. This graduation is a moment of celebration and the promise of even more success to come for you individually, as well as for your families and countries. I want to congratulate the founders of the African Leadership University, as well as the faculty and staff of the ALU School of Business on this first graduation at the Rwanda campus. At the second home of ALU, Rwanda is proud to be associated with this unique, ambitious institution. Excellence and answers to Africa's greatest challenges are to be found right here in Africa, and we just need the conviction and confidence to go for it. This is what LAU represents. By bringing together Africa's brightest young leaders and giving them the tools and opportunity to put their talents to use, you are playing a critical role in the transformation of our continent. You can count on our support in this important work. A few words to the new graduates. The collaboration that you have shaped with your colleagues during your time here is important. It can only strengthen the unity and cooperation we are building across the continent and the more productive partnerships we seek with the rest of the world. You are graduating as leaders of this century with the ability and capacity to deal with today's challenges. Allow me to draw from some of our own experiences here in Rwanda. Earlier this week, we celebrated the 24th anniversary of our country's liberation. When we first set out, many of us in the liberation struggle did not have much management or leadership experience. We were forced to learn quickly from situations as they evolved, often without warning, and we had to devise solutions accordingly just to stay alive. Some of the calculated risks we took failed, but many paid off. This was the case on the battlefront and later on as we worked to govern and manage our relations with other countries. The lesson here was that there will always be challenges along the way. What matters is to find ways to confront them head on and to continually make progress. Many of you will be putting your MBA to use on a continent that is better off than it has ever been and changing rapidly. At the same time, we are all keenly aware of global uncertainty. Nationalism and protectionism are on the increase as citizens question their political systems, even in the most economically advanced nations. However, as bleak as the news may seem at times, there is opportunity for African countries to get better organized and provide leadership on vital global issues. On the other hand, the world also generally keeps improving and getting better. For example, the African Union is steadily implementing our institutional reform as we continue to pursue greater integration and economic prosperity. To date, 49 countries have signed the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. More than half of member states have also signed the agreement on the free movement of people. Strive, I wanted to let you know that it may not take you another 10 years to dig from one country to another. And you know, by the way, the reason when you arrived in Rwanda, you didn't spend much time without getting the approvals. The reason is simple. It actually builds on how we count here in Rwanda. When you arrived, we counted those 10 years. We realized they had been delayed for 10 years. So we just had to add a few days or weeks. So that's how we count. And I think things keep getting better across our continent. I'm sure if you went back where you started from, things would be quicker today, as you would experience. These positive developments provide immense scope for graduates like you with entrepreneurial talent and skills. You have such a major stake, and we hope that you will get involved at all levels and in all sectors to drive Africa's transformation agenda. In keeping with the aims of your education here at LAU, I trust that you will find common purpose in this worthy undertaking. I want to congratulate you once again and conclude by expressing our appreciation to the founders of the African Leadership University. You are demonstrating that it is possible to to provide relevant world-class education and to nurture leaders who can thrive globally while remaining grounded in African values, culture, and the real challenges we all face. Once again, all the best to you, all the graduates, and we wish you every success as you continue on your respective leadership journeys. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you for your wise words and counsel, Mr. President. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we enter the final segment of our graduation ceremony. This last segment of the program will run as follows. The MBA class of 2018 will now proceed through the center aisle and file out of the hall for photos with His Excellency, because a picture is worth 1,000 words. They will then be followed by His Excellency and the VIP guests at the podium. We request that all other guests remain in your positions and that you stay within the hall during this time. We will keep you entertained as you wait for the photo session to be completed, and we will then give you an indication so that we can then conclude this segment of the program. So with that, let's all be upstanding as the graduates proceed, and please remain upstanding until His Excellency and the VIPs have departed the hall. I think we can give them a much bigger round of applause. You may take your seats, and as we await for that segment to be completed, we're delighted to welcome back the amazing Inganzo Ngali troupe.
abakomeje kujya televiziyo Rwanda umuhango wari uri kubera muri Kigali Convention Center ugenda werekeza ku musozo waho hatangwaga impamya bumenyi z'abanyeshuri bagera ku 38 baturutse mu bihugu bitandukanye byiganjemo ibya Afrika bakaba basozaga icyiciro cya gatatu cya kaminuza muri mu bijyanye na business ndetse no kumiyoborere cyangwa se business administration. Abangaba rero bakaba barimo abanyarwanda bagera kuri 3 nabo babonye impamya bumenyi yo mu cyiciro cya gatatu, aho abagarutse cyane cyane wenda bafashe ijambo ya Perezida wa Repubulika y'u Rwanda bagarutse kuba Afrika ari umwanya mwiza wo kugaragaza ko ufite byinshi bihagije byo kuba uyu mugabane wakemura bimwe mu bibazo byagiye biwugaragaramo, aho nka Strive Masiriwa ngo akaba ari umwe muri ba rwiyemezamirimo bakomeye no kubona Afurika, yavuze ko Afurika ifite ibintu byinshi bihagije ku buryo yakemura ibibazo byagiye bigaragara mu myaka yatambutse. Avuga Afurika bitagomba gushakirirwa ibisubizo hanze y'umugabane wa Afurika, ko ahubwo umugabane wa Afurika hari ibisubizo byinshi bishobora kugaragara. Ko Perezida wa Repubulika u Rwanda nawe yagarutse kure aba banyeshuri basoje iki cyiciro cya gatatu cya kaminuza ko ari bo bayobozi bejo kandi bagomba gutangira gutekereza nk'abayobozi bejo b'Afurika cyangwa se b'ikinyejana turimo cy'Afurika. Yagarutse kandi ku kuba koresheje urugero rwiza rw'u Rwanda aho duherutse kuva kwizihiza umunsi wo kwibohora, avuga ko mu gihe ababohoraga kino gihugu bageragezaga gushaka inzira zinyuranye, hari ubumenyi bwinshi batari bafite, ariko mu nzira zose bakoresheje hari zananiranye ariko inyinshi muri zo zikaba zarashobotse. Bityo rero n'abandi banyafurika bagomba kumenya ko kwishakamo ibisubizo ari ikintu gishoboka kandi kigeraho kigatanga umusaruro. Asoreje ku rugero nanone Afurika irimo rwo kwihuza nk'ibihugu, aho yagarutse ku masezerano yasinywe n'ibihugu ku guhuza isoko rusange ndetse no guhuza urujya n'uruza hano muri Afurika. Avuga ko ari kimwe mu bikomeje kugaragaza intambwe n'ubushake bwa politiki muri Afurika, kandi abangaba bahawe izi mpamyabumenyi ari bamwe mu bazabishyira mu bikorwa. Yongera kwibutsa ko Afurika bategerejeho byinshi kandi yizeye adashidikanya ko ubumenyi bakuye muri aya masomo bahawe buzabafasha ibintu byinshi. Uyu muhango rero waruteranirije abatari bake hano biganjemo abo mu miryango yaba bahawe impamyabumenyi, harimo kandi n'ababakurikiye mu masomo barimo babo n'abandi bakorana mu kazi gatandukanye. Nibo bari bateraniye hano baje kwishimira iki gikorwa cyo guhabwa impamyabumenyi za bano banyeshuri bagera kuri 38 baturutse mu bihugu 17 byiganjemo by'Afurika. Reka dushimire ikipe yose yabanye namwe kugira ngo uyu muhango ushobore kubageraho. Na Bazil Rwimana wakomeje kubagezaho uko iki gikorwa cyagendaga.